And they're on their way. The Oil Kings left for Shawinigan, Quebec today, home of the 2012 Memorial Cup.
59 teams eligible to compete for the Memorial Cup when the season begins. Now, only 4 teams can actually win it, and that includes the Edmonton Oil Kings. They beat the best in the West, and now it's time to face new foes at the Memorial Cup. The Oil Kings are now in an exclusive club, joining the other 2 winners of the major junior leagues in Canada, the St. John Sea Dogs of the Quebec League, and the OHL's London Knights and the host Shawinigan Cataracts. After 2 months of fierce WHL playoff action, the Oil Kings finally get to play for the ultimate prize that most grew up dreaming about.
It's really cool to watch it. Growing up, I did always watch it, and it was just such a big accomplishment. Growing up, and I always thought of it as such a big deal. And now that I'm in it, it's just so surreal.
You're going from a marathon situation into a short-term event here, almost like a World Junior Championship. So we've got to really revamp our mentality here.
Different format and bigger stakes. The Oil Kings will once again rely on playoff MVP Laurent Brossoit, who just happens to be one of the hottest goalies in junior hockey right now after losing just 4 of 20 games. Brossoit says it's been a grind, but he's still fresh.
To be honest, goaltending isn't as physically tiring in a game as it is like in a practice, and it's nice to go through games and not physically be too beaten up.
Well, at least he's honest about it. Edmonton's first opponent on Friday, Shawinigan, hasn't played in over a month. And the Edmonton Rush couldn't be happier for the Oil Kings, but the hockey club's success has taken away of the spotlight from our pro lacrosse team. For the first time in franchise history, the Rush will play for a National Lacrosse League title this Saturday in Rochester. If the Oil Kings weren't at the Memorial Cup, the Rush would be the biggest sports story in town.
Nah, Oil Kings Memorial Cup, what's that? Hockey, you know what, really? It's not the fastest game on 2 feet. Lacrosse is, and someone should tell them that. They're just bigger than me, so I won't bother.
It's kind of funny how that worked out. I was actually at the Game 7 the other night. I think more than anything, it's exciting for Edmonton. We've had a few tough years. I mean, I'm a fan as much as anyone.
The Rush knocked off Calgary and Minnesota to take the Western Division title. Over to NHL playoffs, Rangers looking to secure their first 2-game lead in any series.
He's got Kovalchuk on the wing, moves on in, Kovalchuk is up, he scores! A power play goal, and it's 1-0.
Not the start the Rangers were looking for. Second period now, Brad Richards sets up Mark Stahl, and the slapper makes it through. Stahl's 3rd of the postseason. It's a tie game. 2 minutes later, Martin Brodeur stones Marian Gaborik. Still in the second, Rangers power play. Anton Strawman shoots, tipped in by Chris Kreider. Rangers lead for the first time this game. A couple minutes left in the frame. Bryce Salvador with a one-timer. Take a closer look at this one. It's deflected by Ryan Carter. And we are all tied again in the third. Couple minutes in. This game is all about the redirects. Adam Henrique's shot deflects off David Clarkson's stick, and the Devils hold on for another 17 minutes to take the game 3-2 and even the series at 1 apiece. The Coyotes and Kings have the day off in preparation for Game 3 tomorrow. Meanwhile, Raffi Torres is headed to New York to appeal all the days off he's been given for this hit on Marian Hossa in round 1. He's meeting with Commissioner Gary Bettman and an NHLPA rep in hopes of changing the length of the suspension, originally set at 25 games. And the Coyotes took another hit today when forward Martin Hansel was suspended 1 game for this hit on Dustin Brown last night. And more suspensions. Toronto Blue Jays third baseman Brett Lawrie has been suspended 4 games for his outburst last night against home plate umpire.
And he'll take the walk. Comes with one. Wow. And now he calls him out. And Lawrie threw him out and then the helmet. And that's going to cost Brett Lawrie. And he'll take the walk.
Lawrie lost his marbles and hit umpire Bill Miller while arguing strike calls. The replay shows Lawrie had a good argument. He was also fined an undisclosed amount. Lawrie is appealing the suspension and is in the Jays lineup tonight against the Yankees. And guess who the third base ump is? Well, it's Bill Miller. Bottom third, Jays up 2-0, 2 on, 2 out. Edwin Encarnacion with a 3-run homer to center. It's his 13th of the season. The Jays are up 5-0. Bottom 5th, Toronto now up 6-0. Joey Bats. And it's another homer for Bautista. Drilled to left for his 9th of the year, 7-0. Laurie up next. And he strikes out while looking for it on the outside. Bill Miller at third, and he's just looking on. Top 7, Jays up 7-1, 2 out. Kyle Drabeck gets the strikeout. Toronto wins 8-1. The season is already over a month old, and FC Edmonton is riding its first win streak of the year. It took a while, but the Eddies seem to be rounding into form. Patience is a virtue when you almost completely overhaul last year's roster.
A lot of the guys were new. A lot of guys came from all over the world, so different styles. You know, things they're used to that are different, right?
We got a bunch of new guys, so it's taken a lot longer than we would have liked. Usually like to get, you know, all the kinks out in preseason and that, but we didn't end up doing that. And so, yeah, I think just now everyone's starting to gel.
The Eddies are in San Antonio on Saturday. And over to some NBA playoffs. Celtics taking on the Sixers in Game 3 of the Eastern semis. Late first, Boston down by 5. Paul Pierce with a two-handed dunk and the foul. Sixers now down 26-24. A little later, Philly up by 4. Ray Allen to Pierce. Another dunk. Celtics down 2. Skip ahead to the third. Boston up 11. Rondo behind the back to Kevin Garnett. He hits the jumper. Now late in the quarter, this is Rondo's go-to today. Behind the back to Pierce, giving the Celtics a 19-point lead. Less than 6 minutes to play. Pierce with the lay-in. Celtics win 107-91, take a 2-1 series lead. And over on the West, Thunder taking on the Lakers in Game 2. This was a tight match throughout. Skip to the fourth. We're tied at 63. Then Steve Blake hits the 3. Lakers go up by 5. Under 2 to play, Durant steals the pass from Kobe, goes down court for the dunk. Thunder trailing by 3, 25 seconds left. Durant drives the baseline, and he hits the floater. OKC up by 1. Now 6 seconds. Same score. Off the inbounds, Blake misses the 3. Thunder take a 2-0 series lead, and that is Kobe's sad face about that one.
Oh, poor him. Stay with us. We're back right after this break.